this video, we'll go over how to construct a square inscribed in a circle. Reminder that inscribed in a circle means inside of the actual shape. Right now, I'm going to go ahead and start this process by putting a center point on my paper. That's going to be the center point for my circle. In order to construct a square, you need to have both a compass and a ruler or a straight edge. I'm going to go ahead and take my compass, and for this process I'm actually going to start off with a smaller circle just so that it's a little easier to see on my paper. But you can start off with whatever size that you want. I'm going to go ahead, place the needle at my center point. Reminder that I'm only holding the needle side. I'm putting a lot of pressure there, and then I'm going to spin my paper around to get my circle. Okay, so now I have my circle. We know that our square has 4 equal sides. So the first step that I'm going to do to mark where 2 of the endpoints of my square are going to be is to just take my straight edge and I'm going to make a diameter. So reminder that diameter means the entire width, the entire distance across a circle. So I'm going to bring my straight edge here. It doesn't really matter if yours is exactly straight or not, as long as you're getting all of the way across your circle. So I'm even just going to mark them right now. This is going to be one endpoint, and this is going to be another endpoint of my square. The next step that you're going to do is make a perpendicular bisector to this line. As a reminder, a perpendicular bisector means that we want to cut this diameter exactly in half, and we want to make sure that we're cutting it at a 90-degree angle. So in order to do that, I'm going to go ahead and take my compass. I'm going to place it at one of the end points that I just drew in, and then I want to adjust my compass length. So I want to adjust it so that it's more than halfway and not all of the way over to my next end point. So I'm just kind of like glancing at it right now, keeping it at this distance. So this is about maybe 3/4 of the way over, will allow me to create my perpendicular bisector. So to do that, I'm keeping my needle on this one end point. I have my compass at this length, and I'm just going to go ahead and draw one arc over here. I'm now going to keep the same exact compass width. I'm going to move my needle to the other end point of my circle. And notice I move my paper around a lot instead of moving my compass as much. And here I'm going to make another arc. So you should see that you have a point of intersection up here. And now I'm going to do the same exact process here on the bottom. If you want, the way that we have maybe seen this before is by drawing the arc all of the way. You can do that. The only reason I'm not doing it right now is because I want to really be able to see the square clearly. And now I flip my paper upside down because that's going to make it easier for me to do this. I'm putting my needle here at one end point. I'm doing the same process, and I haven't changed my compass width at all. I made one arc. I'm moving my needle to the other end point here, and I'm going to go ahead and make a second arc. And now you're going to notice that I have 2 points of intersection. And if you need to, I'm going to also just for myself, I might draw this in a different color of just putting a point here and here where those lines intersect so that it makes it a little bit easier for me to draw my perpendicular bisector. I'm going to bring my straight edge in. I'm going to connect these dots, and what I'm actually going to do is just do this with a dotted line. You can do it either way, whatever makes sense to you. If you draw it all of the way through, that's completely fine. And reminder that I'm going to indicate that 90-degree angle here with the right angle symbol. And now, where my perpendicular bisector crosses through my circle, these are the other 2 endpoints. So exactly where it intersects, those are my other 2 endpoints of my square. So let's go ahead and grab our straight edge, and now we can connect all of these points. So I'm connecting my diameter to one of the points of intersection. And the same thing on this side, diameter to one of the perpendicular bisectors. I'm going to flip my paper a little bit and connect these other two. And now I have my square inscribed in a circle. The same thing, our square sides are all of the same, so you can mark those with the congruency tick marks.